coba pakai Okay, Assalamualaikum
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome back to
Political Insights.
40 minutes with political knowledge.
So, how are you, Khalid?
I'm good, Safia. What about you?
Okay,
It's
I'm
been a
very
week.
excited, since our first episode aired last week. I'm very
Correct.
thankful for the viewers, It
Thank you
reached
so
300
much.
viewers
Yes,
for
for
our
our
first episode. So,
first
give applause to
episode.
the viewers. Thank you so much for watching Political Insights. So, I
Yes.
hope you guys gain knowledge from last episode and as well as today's episode,
Yeah,
right?
and for the second episode, we are going to talk about being a Malaysian, Safia.
Yeah, very interesting yet very confusing at the same time. Because
Okay.
maybe some political science students have learned in the classes with Dr. Marzuki or any other classes state that a Malaysian and a Malay is a whole different thing, right?
Yes,
So maybe we can discuss more today with our special guest. So we have a very special guest. We have
Correct,
two
correct,
guests
correct,
today.
correct,
Last week we have one. Today we have two.
We have two.
Very
We bring
special
two.
one. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so the first guest is Miss Nazrina binti Muhammad Yassin. She is a UIA graduate for both of her bachelor degree and master degree. Our senior in political science department.
Wow,
So
it's-
very interesting,
Yeah.
And then now she is pursuing her PhD as well as teaching at University of Tunku Abdul Rahman Perak. And the other guest is Mr. Eugene Benedict Yap. He got his diploma from Cosmo Point College in Ipoh and also a sport nutritionist. And now he's working as a graphic designer. So very interesting. So we can welcome our guest. So welcome, Miss
Welcome.
Thanks a lot
Nazrina.
for inviting me.
How are you guys?
I'm good, Alhamdulillah.
Nervous?
Not really.
Okay.
A lot of things to share
A lot of
actually.
things to share.
Okay. So Khalid, do you have anything to us first? Maybe we to our guest.
What about Mr. Eugene? Have you eaten?
No, actually.
Oh,
No, actually, it's a bit early, I guess. A bit early.
Okay.
Okay. Are you nervous?
Me? No, let's go with the flow then.
Okay.
Okay, we just make it casual.
Okay.
Okay. So first thing first, for Miss Nazrina, okay, how do you people usually react when they learn that the fact a Malay is actually different from Melayu and Malaysian? So how do you define it actually, in your opinion?
Alright. In my case, actually I'm a Pakistani. So basically, my father is a Pakistani. He born here, and my mother also, she's a Pakistani born here as well. So maybe I can divide it into different phases. When I started going to primary school, we know, right? We are kids during this time, and
Yes.
many of our friends don't understand. Even myself, I always claim myself as Malays,
Malay.
right?
Okay.
But when I go back, my father said, no, you have to use different language. You have to speak different language at home. All right. Then when I go back to school, to my first, sekolah rendah,
Sekolah
the
rendah,
primary
okay,
school.
okay, primary
So
school.
I will just sit with them, and to one extent, I still remember when I was in standard 3, when my mother came to school during recess time, break time. So I was reciting doa before I eat. All right. So my friend, she was so shocked. She was asking me, are you Malay?
Okay.
Are you Malay? We thought you are non-Muslim.
Okay.
I said, yeah, I am Muslim, but I am Pakistani. I am Punjabi.
Okay.
She said, no, actually Malays is Muslim, but I never heard about other race before.
Okay.
So it leads to confusions
Yes.
into myself. So I started asking my mother. And then I think my mother actually one of my role model actually. She
Yeah,
always,
of
give me some understanding about Pakistani cultures, Punjabi cultures. And then she always mentioning this to me that you should be proud of this
Yes.
about these cultures,
Like being
and
proud
you
of
have
your
to
roots,
share with your
right?
friends. And after that, I can see my friends started to understand about, okay, actually they are other minorities actually, which regards themselves as Muslim in Malaysia. Yeah.
Okay.
Right, yeah.
So does Mr. Eugene also feel
Eugene.
the same thing?
More or less, yeah. But my category side is even much more worse. If you want to talk about complex, like if you're, I'm considered as a non-Malaysian already.
Okay.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, I'm a non-Malaysian already. In people's perspective and mindset, the point of view, they thought I'm a foreigner.
Okay.
From your
Proper.
name?
Yeah, from my name. From my name. First thing.
Sounds
they
like
conf-
Masal, eh?
Yeah. First, they confused about my name.
Sure.
They confused the way I look, and they
Okay.
confused that I can speak other language as well.
Okay.
Okay.
But
So
the
Such as Malay, you mean?
yeah,
Malay.
they thought the first thought, am I Malay?
Okay.
Just imagine that when I go to, especially during Ramadan,
Okay.
and every time I sit down in anywhere shop during daytime,
They
I
would
have they
question
have a
you.
so-called like confusing.
Yeah.
You shouldn't eat, man. You should
You should
take
fast.
away.
Okay.
You should take away. And then if those guys who the guy Malays, Muslims, they wear turban, they asking me, are you not Muslim? Are you not supposed to know fasting today? That's something like that. Then even
Okay.
Indian community in Malaysia, they get confused. I can speak Tamil.
Mm-hmm.
Chinese even worse. They blast out. They blast out.
Okay.
You speak Cantonese.
You don't even look like Chinese then.
Yeah, I don't even look
Okay.
like Chinese.
Yeah, yeah.
But my both parents is like my father is a pure Chinese,
Mm-hmm.
literally pure Chinese.
Okay.
My mother is literally pure Indian.
Oh,
Okay.
Literally pure Indian.
That's
But
great.
religion, both are same.
Okay.
They are
Okay.
both Christians.
Christian.
Okay, so for those of you who haven't know yet about being a Malaysian here and being a Malay, as far as I know that from the Constitution of Malaysia, it stated that a Malay, to be
Malay
considered as a Malay, is
should be
they have to
Muslim.
be Muslim, practicing Malay cultures, speaking Malay language and
Yes.
stuff.
Correct.
So others who do not speak in Malay or not a Muslim, they're not considered as a Malay.
Malay.
But today we're talking that our Malays in Constitution is the same with Malaysian that we all know outside from Malaysia. Like we all think that all those people live in Malaysia are Malaysian. But turns out when we live here as students in UI, especially with it's so diverse, right? Ethnicities, like cultures and stuff. Like
Cultures.
we have so many different countries living in,
Religions,
right?
correct.
So it perplexed us that the fact of Malaysian and Malay is different. So today we're going to learn more from our guests. Yeah. So for both of you, perhaps for Mr. Eugene, how do you survive the entire life, perhaps? Because some people would assume you as a Malay from Malay culture, from Malay tribes, for example, or people would be confused that how can you be an Indian? How can you be a Chinese when you speak both languages or all languages? Do you really have some tricks to survive those days? Because, yeah.
Okay. If you want to put it in that kind of way, let me put it into very specific ethnic group.
Okay.
Let me talk about Chinese first.
Mhm.
Whenever I go, wherever I go, out of my relatives all, we are talking about our stranger worlds, public. When I speak Chinese, when I speak Cantonese, actually, that is actually the way I born. Because in Chinese, there's a lot of
Yeah,
like
a lot of
very
the Chinese
short
language.
Correct,
like,
yes.
dialects.
So I born as a Cantonese. My father is Cantonese. So when I speak Cantonese, really pure, even Chinese couldn't accept it because, to be honest, in Kuala Lumpur, majority 70% they cannot speak Cantonese. They are
Okay.
very straightforward into Mandarin because they believe
Mandarin.
Mandarin is of course the international language.
Yes.
But if you forget about your native language, that is something that very very poor. To be
Sure,
honest,
sure.
and I'm very proud. To be honest, I'm very proud. You as a Chinese, you cannot speak Chinese,
Yes.
but they can accept. So this group of people they cannot accept when I speak Chinese. They said, "Are you Chinese?" When they check my bio,
Okay.
yeah, by bio, my CV, then they really get confirmed. Okay, I'm Chinese. Okay, another group of them,
Okay.
Indian.
Uh-huh.
Indian. I've been so surprised and
Do you
Talk
speak
about-
any Indian language?
yes, I speak
Tamil.
Tamil. I speak
Tamil,
Tamil.
okay.
Tamil.
Indian is actually a race.
Mhm.
Language is called Tamil.
Yeah.
Tamil.
When I speak Tamil, literally I don't really speak that. When people thought I'm Malay already, I kept myself like zero. I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, I kept myself zero.
Okay.
I play safe. I go in the public whenever pass by an LRT bus and just try to. This guy, you see the way he dress.
Is a Malay.
They talk in Tamil, but I literally can understand. Is that how you being awkward? Like you're being stranger, you're like alien somewhere. You are like people treat you
Like
something
you keep
that,
eavesdropping people,
yeah,
right?
yeah, it's like discrimination already.
Mhm.
Then I talk to them politely. It says that I literally can understand whatever you said.
That's awkward.
Yeah, that's awkward. So for those who knows me, those who know, only this is one specialty about Chindian.
Okay.
Only Chindian can recognize Chindian.
Okay.
That's one
Okay.
thing. That is what I went through to whole my life for 38 years. Only Chindian can
This
understand
is
Chindian.
interesting.
Okay.
Yes.
Chindian can see Chindian.
Okay.
Literally. No matter whether father Chinese or mother Chinese, they literally can see. Oh, this guy Chindian.
Oh, that's amazing. Like amazing talent from
Correct,
the Chindian, right? Okay, so what about Miss Nazrina?
Like in my case, I'm very excited actually to share about my cultures to my
Correct.
friends.
Yes.
Although they don't want to listen to me sometimes, but I'm so excited to share this. Actually, for your information, me, myself, and Eugene, we were classmates before. So he knows about me. Okay, I always proud about my cultures, my traditions, and even if I saw any Punjabi students, you know, I just stop them and I want to talk to them because I want to show them that actually I can speak Punjabi. So I still remember there was an incident before where my friends they used to come to my house to do revisions, all right, in the evening. So one day she came to my house for the first time. She was so shocked. She said, "Nas, can you speak in Punjabi? I don't know about this. I said, yes, I can speak. She said, I feel like I'm watching Bollywood movies actually here, right? Okay, they have this kind, they are very excited to know. And then after that, they started to ask me about my attires, what kind of foods you are eating, all this. And after that, I still remember if there is any functions in school, like maybe dancing competitions or anything to translate from Hindi songs to Malay, right?
Okay.
So I will be the one
Maybe we
who's
can
going
talk
to
about that
help them.
later.
Yeah.
So stay tuned on Political Insights, 40 minutes with political knowledge. We'll be right back.
Our nation Malaysia
Bahawasanya negara kita Malaysia
is dedicated to
mendukung cita-cita hendak
achieving a greater unity for her people,
mencapai perpaduan yang lebih erat dalam kalangan seluruh masyarakat,
maintaining a democratic way of life,
memelihara satu cara hidup demokratik,
creating a just society in which the wealth of the nation shall be equitably distributed,
mencipta satu masyarakat yang adil dan saksama di mana kemakmuran negara akan dapat dinikmati bersama,
ensuring a liberal approach to her rich and diverse cultural traditions,
menjamin satu cara liberal terhadap tradisi-tradisi kebudayaan yang kaya dan pelbagai corak,
building a progressive society oriented towards modern science and technology.
membina satu masyarakat progresif yang akan menggunakan sains dan teknologi moden.
We, the people of Malaysia, pledge to strive to attain these goals guided by the following principles.
Maka kami, rakyat Malaysia, berikrar akan menumpukan seluruh tenaga dan usaha kami untuk mencapai cita-cita tersebut berdasarkan atas prinsip-prinsip yang berikut.
Believe in God,
Al-Iktiqad Fillah,
Kepercayaan kepada Tuhan,
loyalty to the king and country,
Al-Walak lil Maliki wal Balad,
kesetiaan kepada raja dan negara,
supremacy of the constitution,
Siyadatud Dustur,
keluhuran perlembagaan,
rule of law,
Hukmul Qanun,
kedaulatan undang-undang,
good behavior, and morality.
Al-Adab wal Akhlaq,
kesopanan dan kesusilaan.
5 prinsip rukun negara harus menjadi cara hidup kita, bukan sekadar ikrar sahaja, sekali-sekala dibaca semata.
Welcome back to Political Insight, 40 minutes with political knowledge.
So we were talking about the struggles that our guests went through,
Correct.
because they're mixed, and it's so interesting the fact that Malaysian is that diverse.
It's that diverse.
That-
We never heard about Punjab before, right?
Yeah, and we all
And
know that
now we
only
are-
Indian, no Punjab,
Indian,
no
all
Tamil.
the
Now we know
tribes.
about Tamil. Now we know about in Punjab.
Punjab as
all we know is
well.
like about Shah Rukh Khan is so handsome.
Oh.
Okay, we can continue about discussion that Miss Nazrina was talking about her childhood life, about the friends were so shocked when they found out that she is a
Actually
Punjab,
practicing
and the
Muslim.
Punjab friends do not even know that she is a Punjab. So
Yes.
that's
Because like most of the people here, they describe you are only Indian.
Yes.
That's all.
So that's why happened to me before. Some of my friends were asking me, you are celebrating Deepawali? They're asking me this kind of questions. So I have to tell them, no, I'm a Muslim. So I'm a Punjabi, of course, but
Of
I'm a
course.
Muslim.
Yeah.
So they are a bit confused about this. That's why in my point of view, ethnic relations study is very important for Malaysians actually.
Correct.
Because by learning all these things, they are going to, expose to, it's not about major races in Malaysia. We know we have Malays, we have Chinese, we have
Chinese,
Indians.
Indians.
But some of them, they are really, they do not know about other
Yes,
minorities
correct,
in
other
Malaysia.
minorities,
So for
races.
me, ethnic relations study is very, very
Yes.
important to be learned. Yeah.
So, do you think that they should learn from the primary school level or just
Yeah, I
introductory
think so.
things?
But in my opinion as well, parents also play a major
Play a
role,
major
actually,
role here.
in exposing their kids that actually other than Malays, other than Chinese, other than Indians, actually you have other group of society actually in Malaysia. Yeah. That's why we call unity in diversity.
Diversity.
Yeah, we are diversified
Very
with a lot of cultures, languages, foods, right, and so on.
Okay.
So about you, Mr. Eugene. So you gonna celebrate like two things, right?
I'm going to tell you a
Two
simple
big
story.
days. Okay.
Simple story.
Okay. We have a lot of stories.
actually born as a Roman Catholic, so I really celebrate Christmas.
Okay.
But my mother's elder sister, she married a Hindu,
Okay.
so celebrate
Okay.
Diwali. My
Okay.
mother's youngest brother
Okay.
married a Malay, he celebrate Raya.
Raya.
Okay.
Raya.
This is really one Malaysia.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then
well,
my
Malaysian
father,
whole
my father before he convert to Christian, before the convert he convert when he was 15 years old after his father passed away.
Okay.
He told me the story that he couldn't take it, the so-called like the belief people believe, you know, they change. So when 14 years old, he start to have a mindset, a different mindset. But before that, he was a Buddhist.
Okay.
So my father's side is all celebrating Chinese New Year.
Okay.
So I can actually adapt all kind of
All
festivals.
kind of
really
festivals.
I can adapt all kind of festivals.
Like,
So
you got do it raya from every single
exactly.
Yeah.
Even though I
celebration.
jump into any Malay festival, they can recognize me.
Which is why that's really interesting at the same time. Like
You have every celebration in one family.
the positive point of view that you can understand every cultures, every religious practice. I mean, like for me personally, because I myself is a mixed
Yeah.
child. We are both of us are mixed child from our country in Indonesia. It's really interesting that we know other people's cultures, what they're practicing, their perspectives of saying stuff. It's actually diversity is not that bad if we can see that. That's why, but really we
It's
need
very interesting.
Interesting.
To
yeah,
read,
right.
yes,
Like when
yes.
we know, like we go deeper to
Yes.
diversity, what it
Yes,
actually is. It's actually not that bad to learn about it. Some people would say that okay, it may make us in conflict and
And
chaotic because you would
separated.
have different
Yes,
stuff to
yes.
think about. Turns out when we learn about it more, it's actually very beautiful.
Yes.
Exactly.
Right.
That's why God created us in diversity.
Mashallah.
So we can know each other better,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes.
Right.
Okay, Sophia, and I want to ask you something.
Why do you ask me?
No, because I'm a little bit, wondering. I'm wondered like you are as an Indonesian, and you also has like a blood from
Indian and Egyptian.
And how do you face it in your country?
Perhaps same with Mr. Zina and Mr. Eugene, that people would assume me as not really Indonesian based on my look during my childhood, but I do speak in Bahasa every single day, and most of my friends speak in Bahasa. They would not really recognize me as other tribes or other, coming from other countries.
Yes.
But sometimes when they see my mom, they would start to speak in English.
Okay.
All of a sudden, like, why would you speak to my English to my mom? She speaks fluent Indonesian.
Okay, okay.
She's holding Indonesian passport
Yeah.
and IC. So,
Yes.
like, people start to confuse by just the look. Like, they would start to speak in other languages,
Yes,
like as
yes.
if we are an alien.
Just
And
by
then-
looking at your face
yeah, like
sometimes, right? Yes.
based on our lookings, and they would assume that okay, you're not Malaysian, you're not
Yes,
Indonesian. That
yes.
we used to see like this is not very common for us. But turns out, when we know one another, is actually we're
Yes.
Indonesian, we're Malaysians, right? So yeah,
That's
university.
why the same things happen to me when some of my friends also, they know me for a long period of time, but they will ask me, you speak Malay fluently, right? But I say, yes, I'm Malaysian, of course, I can speak Malay. But for them, no, because you said you are Pakistani, Punjabi, you speak Punjabi. Yes, I know, but Malay language is our native language,
Yeah,
right?
so
So
we
we
have
have
to
to
speak
speak
that.
this, yeah. So a lot of funny things happen actually. So I have to explain to them, but I never tired. I just keep on explaining to them.
because
yeah.
at the end of the day, it's very interesting to explain our cultures, right? So
Yeah.
Alright.
yeah, that's
So, Sister Nazrin,
Yes.
do you still have relatives in Pakistan?
Yeah, I still have my mother's side. Actually, my grandfather from my mother's side, he's from Lahore, Pakistan. So basically, we are pure Punjabi.
Okay.
Alright. Okay.
Is
But
it
in
northern
Malaysia,
part, right?
we have this kind of misconceptions. Maybe I can share today. We have Punjabi Sikh, and then we have Punjabi Muslim.
Punjabi Muslim.
So I am categorized under
Punjabi
Punjabi Muslim
Punjabi
group.
Muslim
Right. So that's why just now I was mentioning about my friends were asking me why you
Yeah.
are not celebrating Deepawali or
Deepawali.
Diwali. I said no, I am a Muslim, but they said no, you can celebrate Deepawali or Diwali as well.
Okay.
So this is kind of
Misconceptions.
misconceptions among the society. And one thing about you was asking me just now whether I have relative in Pakistan or not. Yes, we have so many of them. So Alhamdulillah, every year we are. It's been 3 years. Every year I have this chance to visit them. Share their
Mashallah.
cultures.
Okay.
Buy a lot of stuffs from
Yeah.
there. Right. So this is part of the. Our traditions, right? Going there, okay, visit our relative there. And my mom, she's always very happy to visit her relative there.
of course.
Yeah.
Same goes to Mr. Eugene as well. You go back to India or to
No,
China.
I don't have any like so-called like, big
Relatives.
capital cities like region. I don't have any big relatives on that. But Chindian,
Oh, Chindian, Chinese.
Chindian.
Chindian.
Okay, I have to get used to it. Chindian.
Chindian.
Chindian, yes.
The part of being normal people is they will say that I'm just a Chindian. Indian. But according to the law, I'm a Chinese.
All right.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
So your race under the law is Chinese.
Chinese. So
Okay.
I don't brought up as Chinese. My father never trained me as a Chinese.
Okay.
But my father trained me mentality how to become a very good man.
Mhm.
Very good
That's a
man.
very important
So technically, all the Chindians, let me tell you, they all Chindians are very fast adaptation. Very fast adapt. Very fast adapt means either they will learn or will trash you out. This kind of Chindian. So this one, I will tell all the parents, it's the way how they brought up the child. If brought up wrongly, trust me, they will go on case.
Okay.
Yeah. So-
Because their mind is very, very sharp.
Yeah.
Either they point here, there, they point here, there.
Yeah.
Either they will go too good or where too bad.
Mm-hmm. So the parents are playing a very important role
That's
to shape
correct.
the child's
Yes,
mind,
yes.
like not to forget the roots
Yes.
and not just to be blind of the surroundings. And really, parents are, having
Very
this
important
important role
role.
to shape who we are, whether to be a good person or to be a bad person indirectly. Right?
And also, Safia, nowadays, like so many children, they lost their identity. You know,
Yes.
they couldn't.
The boomers.
Yeah, they couldn't
Yes,
speak
yes.
their mother tongue language.
Yes, yes.
It
Mhm,
happens
they're
sometimes.
forgetting
Like
it.
Even I can see in my family,
Okay.
some of my cousins, when they started going to school, primary and secondary,
Okay.
they really want to have a sense of belongingness to Malays
Yeah.
community.
Okay.
They don't want to speak Punjabi. Okay? Alright, because they feel shy.
Yeah,
okay,
they will
because
get
of these things,
excluded
yes.
from the society.
So what happened? They lost everything. They don't know how to speak, and now when they have kids, they want to train their kids to speak in
to
Punjabi.
speak in
See,
Punjabi.
it's such a waste actually.
Correct.
They should practice this since they were young, small. But these things happen. They say it's okay. It's never too late. We can still
learn.
learn and teach our kids how to speak.
Same
Correct.
goes to you,
Correct.
Mr. Eugene. Like you would learn Chinese since you were a kid, and then, or you were forced to learn Chinese because your father is Chinese, and
No,
not
there is
really.
no force.
and also you learn Tamil from your mother. Like,
No, not really.
Oh.
Oh.
I learned both my parents.
Okay.
My father speak with me English since kid.
Okay.
He speak with me literally English, and he said, "Do not speak with me Chinese.
okay.
Do not speak with me Tamil. I'm not going to speak in it. My father can speak Tamil, but he won't speak to me.
Okay.
My mother, she speak English or Malay. I train from the outside world, to be honest.
Wow.
Okay, that's another interesting
Very
point.
Yeah,
that
I
some
train from the outside world, where the outside world treat me so bad sometimes, so bad. But at the same time also, I learn a lot of things, a lot of things, up and downs, during how the people treat you. In a way, you actually treating back people, however you want to treat good or bad. That's all.
Thank you so much. Well,
Okay,
there are a lot of
so,
things to
yeah,
talk about after
we still
this.
have more to talk, so we'll
Okay.
be right back after the break. So stay tuned on Political
Stay
Insight.
tuned. 40 minutes with political knowledge.
Lapar lah. Lapar lah. Nak makan apa ni? Bomboloni, bomboloni. Bomboloni tu kat sini eh.
Jangan lupa tau beli bomboloni kita orang.
Krim Huan pun ada lah.
Sore.
Bomboloni, bomboloni, bomboloni.
Bombolone, bombolone, bombolone. RM2 satu, RM2 satu. Bombolone.
Welcome back to Political Insight. 40 minutes with political knowledge.
So we were
Safia.
discussing about a very interesting topic today. Turns out being a Malaysian is more than
It's
just a
more.
Malaysian, right? So
And more than 3 races.
it's beyond what we
Beyond
have
what we have.
learned, what we know actually. So
Correct. And a very unique mixture between Chinese and Tamil as well,
yeah,
right?
we just know that there is this term called
Chindian,
Chindian.
correct? Chindian.
Chinese
Yeah.
Indian.
Okay.
We only know Singlish, Singlish and Manglish.
Like in my case, in my family, they are my auntie,
Okay.
my mother cousin. Okay, she's Pakistani. She married Chinese. Okay, then
Oh.
there's kids. We call them Pakichin.
Pakistan.
Pakichin,
Pakistani,
Pakistani
Chinese.
and
Chinese.
So Pakichin, another
Yeah.
term. Yeah, right.
That's interesting. Like
Yes.
even
Lot
the
of
term is
terms.
unique and so
Yes.
cute.
Pakichin,
yes.
Pakichin,
Chindian.
Chindian.
Yeah.
Like Chindai lah.
Anything else you want to ask,
I think.
Safia?
Okay, so for Mr. Eugene, how do you actually connect yourself to both worlds, like in appreciating stuff, finding your roots? Because we are mixed. Sometimes we do not know which one to refer to, because if we refer to our mom, then we need to respect our father, and it's the other way around. So how do you actually do that? Like, how do you survive that?
I'm actually carrying both ethnics,
Okay.
like Indian and Chinese. One man on me walking alone. And I'm carrying a skin color called Malay. So I can carry 3 things. Just imagine like you want to adapt into something so called very big society.
Very big society.
When you want to say connect to the both worlds, I would say very simple thing. Involved in the public and get a good name. So when you involve in the public and get good name, you will do content review, public review, create awareness. That is what I'm doing right now.
Very
That's what I'm
nice.
doing now. So that is my career. I'm doing a public social media content to expose awareness that we all
Awareness.
still exist actually.
Okay.
But to be honest, in Malaysia, only 1.5% only we are living. Because those days,
Chindian.
those days, 90s born kids, that means those people marry under 26 or 27 age. Those are mixed marriages are very strong. But nowadays you see,
It's very
nowadays
common.
it's very
Yes.
common. And nowadays I think it's dying.
The mixed marriage.
The mixed marriage is still dying. It's going down. One thing for sure,
What is it cost? I mean, like, what
the
happened?
exposure for to the young time is a false message. I mean false message during
False
young time.
message.
False message, like, for example, like what I went through is that when you're going for mixed marriage, they will say that, hey, you know what? Better you marry Indian. And then they will personally they will ask me.
Why
you
is that so?
They will ask me. I think you heard before. I don't know lah. I will share to you or not. I think when during young time when people ask me, hey, you gonna marry Chinese or gonna marry Indian? They never.
School talks there.
Yeah. And even my parents, even my lot of siblings, even my relatives will ask me, you gonna marry Chinese or gonna marry Indian? I'm like,
I'll be married.
Whoever.
I don't mind. I don't mind as long as being a good human is more than
Correct.
enough already.
It's that because sometimes we define someone based on who are you,
Who
from
are
which
you?
ethnicity you come from,
Yeah.
from which origin and whatnot. But turns out is what's most important is like whether you're good people or not, right? Like
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the real life,
Yeah.
speaking like truthfully, whether you're good or not is what matters the most, regardless of any of your
Religion
backgrounds,
and
right?
everything.
But people sometimes are, to be honest, they're still misconcepting this kind of thing. It's like, oh, is this Indian? Is this like this portrayed as bad guy in Indian
it's like
movie?
a stereotype actually.
Yeah,
Yes.
stereotyping,
Right?
and
Yeah.
people are just still stick into the stereotypes
Yes, yes.
because stereotypes is based on what majority looks
Yes,
like,
yes.
and it's not from the minority sides, and people start to forget the minorities.
The minorities.
Yes.
Okay, so about Mr. Azina, how do you actually connect yourself to the other world?
In my case, at first, in the beginning, I will say that I'm really in such a very, in identity confusion.
Yeah.
Right? Why? Because at home, my father said my father is very strict in terms of language. You have
Okay.
to speak Punjabi.
Punjabi.
Right? So when I started going to school, I speak in Malay. Then I come back, I was using Malay. Then my father said, no Malay at home. You can speak Malay, but speak outside. Alright?
The house.
But in the house, you have to speak
Malay,
Punjabi.
Punjabi.
So we started to learn, which I feel so grateful actually. I know how to speak everything. But For me, one thing, peer pressure really play an important role actually, right? Why? Because for me, friends can shape you whether you will appreciate your traditions or not.
Yes.
Okay, like happened to my cousins. Okay, when they started going to school, everything, and their friends said, why you are using this language? Why you speak in this language? Right? They feel shy. They say, okay, from now we have to fully assimilate ourselves as Malays.
Malay.
Right? So that's why for me, there are two kinds actually. One is you fully associated yourself or assimilated yourself with Malays, or second is half. Okay, partially assimilated yourself with Malays culture. So that's why for me, I think that I am partially assimilated with Malay cultures, right? Where I share many things actually with Malays, right? I mean cultures, right? But when I just came back, I go back to my home, and then during the tradition, I mean the functions, wedding functions, food, languages will be a bit different, right? So again, I want to emphasize here, I can claim myself as partially okay, assimilated with Malay cultures. Yeah.
So, Sister Nazreen, I believe that you learned the Punjabi cultures as well as language from your parents.
Yes.
What about Mr. Eugene?
Do you? I mean, like the
Do you-
cultures
yeah.
of both Chinese and Indian are just
Indians.
like
You also learn it from the parents, or
yeah, like the sky and the earth. It's like okay, Indian is like this, Chinese is like this. We watch Bollywood movie, they don't watch Bollywood movie. So
Okay, so when I brought up, I don't brought up as Indian or Chinese. I brought up as a Christianity way.
okay.
So, when they raised me like that, it's so called quiet lah, very silent, very not really like when we call Diwali festival, it's about light and
yeah,
focus.
I was like
Okay.
yes, yes.
Yeah, then when Chinese like all the drums and the line dance, we talk about like that. So and when it comes to Christmas, it's all about joyful.
Joy.
It's going to come soon. Christmas was joyful. So most time when people says that, hey, you celebrate Chinese New Year, they get confused. Even during my working time, hey, Diwali coming, where's my morku?
He's celebrating all the festivals, so they are confused.
They get confused. So I'm like, but I understand all the cultures because not just I was a dancer. So I was dancing. I was a dancer. So I was dancing for Indian dance, traditional dance. At the same time, also I would dance for Bollywood. And also at the same time, I got go for Malay dance before. So
Okay,
literally,
like Zapin,
yeah,
like Zapin.
What kind of
Zapin,
dance?
joget.
You know
joget
that?
Melayu.
Okay.
Joget Melayu. So I was trained Terengganu for 3 months and Perak for 6 months.
Wow.
That was during young time after I finished SPM. After during my secondary school.
That's okay.
So when go for Chinese type, literally all the Chinese will see me like I'm a bunch of where this guy came from. Where this guy came from. But somehow, if we talk Cantonese or we talk Chinese, trust me, Chinese will accept you as one of the family.
Oh, wow.
Yes, this is the benefit why I say that people will need to speak Chinese. Not because you want to become wherever for the job application or you want to adapt to the culture. No,
True.
but accept you as one of the family. That is what being a part of Chinese. That's all. Indians, nothing wrong. Humble. That's all.
Okay. So, Miss Nazira, do you learn the dance of Pakistan or Punjab type of dance? He dance a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Like
yes.
I myself,
We have to
who's not
see.
even dance,
We
like,
have to see him
But
dancing here.
In my case, I always be translator for my friends. They will
Okay.
ask me, please translate this song for us. So I will be the translator for them.
Yeah.
So this is my job.
even like for Bollywood movie
Yeah,
as
Bollywood
well.
movies as well, because I can speak Hindi as well. I can understand Hindi, so I'm the one who is going to translate for them. Because during my school time in secondary school, usually we have dancing competitions, Bollywood dancing competition, and we have singing competitions. So I need to translate for them. So I think this is one of the benefit by learning this language.
You can be translated. Have you guys worked in any translators company because of your abilities to speak many languages?
Yeah, a lot of languages.
Actually, someone proposed me to work in court actually to translate,
Okay.
but I was busy with a few other things, so I just
But Mr. Eugene, have you ever encountered in translators?
No, I never get the chance because of less of demand. I'm not sure, or maybe because of my skin color. Nobody asked me like that. Yeah, nobody like that.
But if some people that really knows you, for example, like Miss Nazira really knows you and really wants you to translate some Cantonese.
Yes, exactly. That a lot of people said, "Hey, you understand this, right? Can you translate for me?"
Okay.
Yeah, there is a few kind
Benefits.
Yeah.
That's actually
Okay.
very interesting that you
Very
understand every single languages, you dance
Yes,
every
Nadia.
single dance.
Do you speak Indian, Nadine?
I
Safia?
don't apparently. It's like only kya hare.
Yeah.
Kya
Kya
hare?
hare. Mere naam Sophia.
Yes.
That's it. That's the only thing that
Tumhara naam kya hai?
I
No,
like.
no,
I
you
know.
know the
I know.
message,
Mujhe tumse pyar hai.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's it. I mean,
Yes.
mujhe tumse pyar karte ho. That's it. Okay,
Okay,
so
Sophia.
we'll be right back after the break. So stay tuned on Political Insight. 40
40
minutes
minutes with
political
political knowledge.
I know they don't like me that much. Guess that I don't dress how they want. I just wanna be myself. I can be someone else. Try to color inside their lines. Try to live a life by design. I just wanna be myself. I can be someone else. Someone else. They preach. I've heard it all before. Be this, be that. I've heard it before. Heard it before. Big boys don't cry, shoot low, aim high, head up, stay big, stand out, faded. Good girls don't fight, they use dress right, white face, pale skin, stand out, faded. Stand out, faded. Stand out, faded. Lately it's been too much all day. Watch out like a cannon at me. I just wanna be myself. I can be someone else. Someone else. They preach. I've heard it all before. Be this, be that. I've heard it before. Heard it before. Big boys don't cry, shoot low, aim high, head up, stay big, stand out, faded. Good girls don't fight, they use dress right, white face, pale skin, stand out, faded.
Welcome back to Political Insight, 40 minutes with political knowledge. So, Sophia, we have been discussed a lot of things that we haven't known before.
Yeah, and
right?
now we know that Mr. Eugene is a very good dancer. We showed,
Yeah.
we have seen it during the commercial break. Maybe we can show it later, yeah, another
Later,
chance, yeah.
in the next episode, in the commercial break.
We can show how Mr. Eugene dance in Zapin or whatever.
Yes.
Okay.
You ask a question, Sophia.
Okay, because we have so much thing to ask. Like I sometimes, for me, like if I want to share, like I myself also have a hard time to define myself as because I am a mixed child of my mother is a different race, my father also a different race. Sometimes I have this hard time whether I should put myself as Indonesian first or this particular tribe first, as if I'm Indian or Egyptian, regardless of I'm being Indonesian by citizenship. So do you guys find it the same way? Like for Mr. Eugene, for example, like in your personal life, like have you ever felt pressure to identify yourself with one group or another?
Yeah, I do have a lot of pressure. Like last I mentioned that some ethnic groups don't really accept me. Don't really accept me into the whatever field that I want to enter. For example, like working type or any working environment or new things that I want to try stuff. Yeah, during my when I study also there's the same thing. Even my working place, a lot of like discrimination, the way that I look or maybe they will come. But when the calls terms of pressure, they will pressure you by the way that you look actually.
Physically.
Okay,
Yes,
physically.
physical look. And then that's one thing. Another thing is that they really don't accept you as a first thing first, one of their type. You
Okay.
know, one of the type. So
The kinds like.
it's not like a negative issue. It's something that makes me wonder. Throughout, the people who want to know, want to learn, to adapt all this kind of culture, I would say very simple thing. Adapt. Adapt whatever it is. You will learn a lot. Bringing pressure is always everywhere.
Everywhere.
Being pressure is everywhere. No matter what kind of pressure it is, pressure about your kind, about pressure about your ethnic groups, pressure about
any matters.
yeah,
pressure
any matters
exists,
in
right?
this life.
Whatever it is, just adapt. Trust me, you will learn a lot. You will learn a lot. I have learned one thing only: being
What
a
is
human.
Being a human.
Being human.
Regardless of any of
Yes.
your background,
Yes,
right? So
yes.
being human is very important to be adapted in a society.
Exactly.
Miss Nazrina,
Mr. Nasri.
Yeah.
have you ever felt the same case as well?
Like in my case, compared to Mr. Eugene case, right? He need to choose whether to be in Chinese group or Indian group. But in my case, both of my parents are Pakistani,
Pakistani.
right? So I don't have much problem. But whether I want to claim myself as Malay or whether I want to claim myself as Pakistani, this is such a very big decisions to be made.
Okay.
But maybe, as I said, during school time, I might be in identity confusion.
Yeah.
But now I'm very proud of myself to claim myself as Punjabi
Punjabi
Pakistani
Pakistani.
actually.
I
Malaysian
see.
Punjabi Pakistani actually.
So, in university or any types of thing, we have forms to fill up, right? And then there will be box to tick.
Box of ticks. Race.
Melayu, Chinese, Indian, or
Indian.
other.
Others.
Others.
You will choose
Okay.
others.
Honestly, I always take Malays.
Okay.
Right? Because I have been trained to do so. Right?
Okay.
You have Malaysian passport?
Yeah, I have.
Of course.
Yeah, I'm Malaysian.
She's
Yeah,
Malaysian.
Okay,
I'm
Malaysian
Malaysian, so I have
by
identity card. Okay,
nationality.
it's good questions actually. Most of my friends are asking this.
Okay.
Whether you have a Malaysian passport, whether your parents have Malaysian passport. Yes, we are Malaysians. So it's taking time to, you know,
To adjust about
to
this.
adjust
Yeah.
this, to tell people about this. But I think that's why I keep on emphasizing on ethnic relation study. When you are studying about this, you are going to know about the minorities, right?
Correct,
What is happening,
correct.
everything. Yeah.
But Mr. Eugene,
What about you, Mr.
I-
do you think Indian or do you think Chinese?
Okay, that's the thing. I always check back my my birth certificate.
Okay.
I used to have a confused, but that is why my father give me copy. Said, you know what?
You bring
take
it
a
everywhere?
copy. Yeah, I
Oh
used
Lord!
to. That is when I was a primary school. But when I was kindergarten, I don't have the confusion because why? Whatever paperwork were given to my parents.
Yes.
But during primary school,
You
there's
fill it up
certain
yourself.
things that I need to fill up my own. So I get confused. So
You
what
will
I do
call your
is I
parents.
open my birth certificate copy.
Okay.
And I will copycat.
Okay.
I will copy. I get confused. If I cannot copy, if I don't have any copy, I bring the form. I say that I give tomorrow, and I ask my father or I ask and someone to fill up for me.
Yeah,
But,
honestly, I always confused about this. I don't know which part to fill. But my teachers during my secondary school time, she always say it's okay, just put as Malay,
Okay.
right? But later on, I found that why should I put Malay because I'm a Pakistani, so it's going to be very long. So I just keep it short, just stick Malay.
Malay.
Okay, so for those of you who haven't know that Malaysia is practicing the jus soli and jus sanguinis type of law, which
Yes.
means that people who were born in Malaysia and have one of the other
One
side
of the other side parents
Malaysian
should be
parent
Malaysian.
should be Malaysian as citizenship, and it's the other way around, right? In other countries, for
Yes.
example, like in USA, we're practicing the jus soli. By the time you were born in USA, you will
Yes.
have immediately the American citizenship. So that's very interesting that people are just confused about to recognize with
themselves.
which group they belong to. Sometimes I would say that if I don't know the case, I would say that you will put either Chinese or Indian because you can claim both. You're a Chindian, right? So you can claim both, and people are not going to tell you a liar. And I would assume that Ms. Nazrina would put others because she's not a Malay by cultures, for
Yes,
example. Like
yes.
you were not born from Malay
From
parents,
Malay
but
parents.
you live in Malay society, which makes you a Malay, literally, right? So,
Sister Naziha. I want to ask Nazrina.
you
Nazrina. I want to know what is your wish or hope in the future toward this racial confusion?
Okay, actually I would like to take this opportunity to expand a bit. It's good actually to study about ethnicity, alright?
Correct.
But there's another term known as ethnocentrism, alright?
Okay.
Okay,
Ethnocentrism
can you
means
please-
you feel more superior, alright? You feel superior about your own race, alright?
Okay.
About your own ethnicity compared
you're
to
so
others.
proud
Yeah,
of your
it's not
ethnics.
good. It's good to study about ethnic. You study about your, your heritage, your customs, your traditions,
True,
your
true.
languages, everything. But some people are too into learning about all this. They become they more attached to ethnocentrism. They feel
Okay.
superior. For example, me myself as a Pakistani, I feel more superior over the
The
Chindians, for
Chinese
example,
or
right?
Indian,
Right.
okay.
So this is not good, right? So
Okay.
that's why I just want to quote one verse from Al-Quran, Surah Al-Hujurat. Allah mentioned that we create males and females, and also we create races, different races and different tribes, so that you can get to know each other. So this is the beauty of Malaysia, actually.
Correct.
Unity in diversity. We
Yes.
can learn a lot. Of course, we have gap. But we can reduce this gap by, assimilate with one another.
accepting one another,
accepting one
toleration,
another,
and
yes.
accept the plurality.
Plural, yeah.
Yes. So that's really interesting that today's topic is actually beyond our expectations. Yeah, we should have more episode about this maybe
Yes.
the other week.
Maybe the other
yeah,
week.
and invite Mr. Zrina, Mr. Eugene
Sure.
as well.
Yeah, sure.
We have to have a
Anyway,
further
speaking
discussion.
of which, this Political Insights brand new program of POSA, and it is being sponsored as well
So by
by
whom, Sofia?
Jartimas Furniture. So thank you so much for
Thank you
Jartimas
so much,
Furniture, and as
Jartimas
well for
Furniture.
our viewers. Thank you so much for watching. Please do not forget to follow our social media on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Please follow us too at IIUMTV, and as well as POSA IIUMTOSSA IIUM. So basically, our topic today, if we want to conclude, is basically we need to learn about ethnic Malaysian group, like
Yes.
right? And what's the topic again? What's the topic? What's the
The term just now,
You mean
ethno.
to feel more superior?
Yes, yes.
Ethnocentrism.
Okay, so we need to learn
Ethnocentrism.
about pluralism, ethnocentrism, and to learn about Malaysian ethnicity as
Yes,
well, so we can understand about others that exist among us. And it's really important to accept the difference that
The
exists. It's not
difference.
an ugly thing to be accepted, right? It's really beautiful that we learn from one another, from different perspectives, from different cultures. That's today, like we found, it's really amazing that we coming from different backgrounds.
different
It's really
backgrounds.
amazing that turns out he dance every single dances. You speak every single
Every
languages.
single
and
languages.
it's actually not a bad thing at
Not
all,
a
right?
bad
So
thing.
yeah, so really, we're really advising the viewers to really be more open-minded and really try to accept the differences exist among us.
Actually, the differences makes us unique.
Yeah,
right?
Yes,
that,
correct.
that's what makes us Malaysian,
Malaysian,
which is
yes.
why that Malaysian is a diverse culture, is a diverse country with different people exist. That even Mat Saleh exists. Like we have refugees exist. Even in UIA itself, if you're coming from UIA is very diverse, and we learn how to tolerate one another by just looking at our existence. Like
existence.
Bangladesh exists, Indonesian exists, so we try to accepting one another by just learning from this diversity. So it's really good. Maybe next time we should bring
These topics
more about
again,
being
and
a Malaysian or being an
Yes.
Indonesian, being an IIUM.
being the Chindian.
Okay, so thank you so much for the viewers tonight.
Thanks
Thank you
a
for
lot.
watching Political Insight. Stay tuned on Political
Yeah,
Insight on
thank
every
you,
Wednesday,
sister.
8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum
Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.